Well, I'm actually quite sad because Predator definitely played a great game, and I would have liked to see him keep going up, but well. Okay, so we're going to be going to the next game. Just a second. Let me get this ready. Alright. So, next game right about now. Oh, for those of you who might be like curious, yes, I'm not highest, like I'm not a player anymore. I never was one of the best players, so my input might not be the best in these games. I'm just trying to tell you what I see. But yeah, it might be off sometimes. So if there are people in the chat who know better, I'm not going to keep an eye on it all the time, but definitely kind of good to have somebody who can give us more information. Okay, so we're gonna be having lagfree.Terror as the blue Terran at the top right location, and his opponent is going to be sas.non as the brown Terran at the bottom right location. TVT, good. Good. We had a PvP, we had a ZVZ, we have a TVT, we had a lot. Okay, that's pretty good. TVT, definitely one of the, I'll put it this way, it's kind of the slower matchups. It's not one of the matchups that you'd expect to go like really fast with a lot of action in it. It can be, there are some cases that it can be, but most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's kind of a chess style play, position style. The thing I do love about TVT, there's one thing that I absolutely love about TVT, and that's when both Terrans go for shuttle play. You know, like, and they have like both of them 10 shuttles, and they're flying around in the map everywhere. Oh, wait a second. Probably we should see this. And they fly around in the map and start kind of dropping everywhere. That's something I really love to see. I also like to see Wraith play is also something I really like, especially when you see a lot of these kind of micro styles things. Or one of the best micros I think I remember is when you have to micro Wraiths against Valkyries. That's obviously in the very late stage of the game, but there's a lot of cool things that we can see. Alright, so None started with a barracks at the middle, and I'm assuming that the reason why he did that is just so he can fly the barracks sooner to whatever his opponent is. And there's a gas fast. Now the only reason why this is dangerous, because this usually won't be dangerous as both players want to go for mech, right? But there's actually a reason why this is not done very common, and why a lot of Terrans choose to do their barracks in base and then fly it out. And that's because of a BBS. If your opponent does a BBS, which is Barrack Depot, and you have your units in the middle, well, it might be difficult to reclaim like your ramp. Sure, you can pull SCVs, there's a lot of things you can do, but that kind of gets you behind. So I think that's the only reason why you might not want to do that. But overall, I would say that it's extremely safe assumption to put your barracks right in the middle. That's one. The second one is if an SCV scouts it and starts to harass your SCV, then everything is going to fall apart. Your barracks is going to be late, your factory is going to be late. That's why a lot of Terrans just choose to do, you know, the barracks in the base, then they float it out. Okay, now we do see that lagfree.Terror has his SCV scouting, so far he doesn't even need to send his barracks flying. He might do it a little bit later, but so far he doesn't have to. We do see sas.non made 4 Marines. That might actually be problematic. Oh. No, it's not gonna be, really. Not that much. Yeah, just some SCVs. So as you can see, guys, I would assume that this is kind of like the 95% reason why you don't build more than just a few Marines, because you're spending more minerals, and in reality, just some SCVs pulled are more than enough until the vulture is out. So I would say that's one of the main reasons. lagfree.Terror is on 1 factory. Did he make a second one? No. Okay, I thought I missed somewhere like another factory. Okay, so we do see the vulture now scouting the center. It sees no barracks. The barracks is already floating, so... So far... Okay, so we do have a starport by non. And... So far nothing more by Terror. He's going for siege. I don't know about siege. Usually in old school TVT, yes, siege was very common. Siege was kind of like the way that you'd open to get your fast expansion. And it's a one factory, so you'd expect that to work. Nowadays people tend to favor more a few vultures than maybe a mine or two, and you'd start with your siege tanks slightly later, or sometimes you would even go like starport wraith with siege mode and push like this. But I think this is a little bit strange, because the problem is you have a lot of gas right now as Terror, and you're still in one factory. So what exactly is your goal? You're not going to be spending that much gas. Like, look at the gas right now. See, Non's build is more efficient economy-wise, even though lagfree has more units because he went for this kind of aggressive thing, and he's expanding, so... I don't know. I mean, definitely this can still do damage because you can still manage to contain your opponent, but I don't know. Alright, so if this containment... Oh my god. If he gets wind of this starport... Yeah, he does see it. So as soon as he sees the starport and he realizes that cloak is being researched, lagfree.Terror is going to be able to efficiently prepare against this. Like, sure, once this is finished, this army is kind of dead. Oh my god, is the turret gonna finish before the cloak? Oh, this is so... Oh my god, it's gonna finish. The turret is gonna finish. Oh my god, it's even in range. Oh, that was so close. But actually the cloak is gonna run off. Like, it's running out, the energy. Okay, so Non so far is defending, and he killed the turret and the marines. So, yeah, definitely you had to run away at this point. I mean, the pew pew shooter here should not even take this tank down, I would assume. But there's... What the... Why did the SCV stop building that? And why did it go to make a turret over there? I do not understand. Oh my god, is that because... Oh my god, you can actually siege tank here and shoot here? Ooh, I'm assuming that's why. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's gonna kill it. Okay, I think the reason why that turret is here so that you put that there. I would assume that. Because I guess that you can actually put a tank here, have a wraith here, and you can actually siege these minerals. So that's maybe why the turret is coming down so fast in there. Now, Non is only now taking his natural, whereas Terror has it and is already mining from it. So... And there's already an armory and 2 more factories coming down, whereas... for a second there I thought it was a second starport. So there's nothing really good for Non at this point. He doesn't have it contained, his base is later, his SCV count is lower. Ooh, not good, not good. That doesn't look good for Non at this point, definitely. All right. Oh, I see people are talking about Austria and Australia. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good topic. I don't know why, but it's a good topic. Anyway, it's gonna be about a little bit of downtime now. We do not have anything happening so far. Oh, what the hell was that? 2 marine drop? Ah, oh my god. Marines in the main. That's... I mean... that should never happen, but okay. It can happen. And... I don't know, Wraith just being annoying. Really, just... yeah, just... you can't even out-repair that if... well, unless the SCV goes into the... kind of the bad position, but... I think at this point, like, in a way, Terror is actually losing some ground because of all of this. He's actually being harassed with a Wraith that's actually doing a lot more damage than it should. But I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to bring him back into the game, because at the same time... okay, he's actually... lagfree.Terror is supply blocked, and he's been supply blocked for a very long time. Okay, that kills it, but... the supply block has been, like... I don't know, for a minute? That's actually quite a long supply block, if we think about the fact that you had the earlier base, so you should be able to, I don't know, get quite ahead. Okay, +1 is coming up for Terror, which is pretty important. The upgrade, one of the things is, TVT upgrades is this kind of a big deal. So, definitely you want to get it as fast as possible. The position right now for Terror isn't too good, but definitely has control over this small area, so he should be at least relatively aware of what's coming down. You see also speed of vultures already being done, so kind of for more mobility, checking out all the bases. There's going to be none trying to take in a third. Will the yeah, okay, so the vultures will actually kill the SCV before it even starts the command center. Kind of annoying, really. And none seems to be going for a more traditional siege tank style with vultures. But lagfree.Terror so far has been doing relatively well to stay ahead of supply, just losing some vultures that already shows the difference. Now he's going for the Goliaths, so that's definitely pretty smart. So I would assume that it's a pretty smart thing to do. Because the thing is, Goliaths are very good against kind of like dropship play, but against the vultures they're good, but they're not as good. There are two problems with Goliaths. They're not mobile. Obviously they don't have mines, but they're not mobile. And the other thing why that's actually a problem is because Goliaths, they actually don't deal that much damage. Like, their DPS in big numbers is cool, but in small numbers they're actually pretty crappy. Now, vultures do absolutely no damage, pretty much, against mech. Like, really no damage. But they can run in, kill some SCVs, plant some mines, confuse the tank's AI so it shoots in the wrong area. So they're more kind of a... they're more useful in terms of mobility and, I would say, support units, whereas Goliaths are trying to be something in the middle. Oh, ooh. Okay, I think that was 2 tanks. Oh my god, and oh no, that was a vulture. 2 tanks, not bad. I mean, the supplies are still extremely even, so definitely there's still a lot of possibilities for both players. And for a second there, it seemed like None wanted to take his third, and he's going for it now, but he did take a long time before he actually started rebuilding it, whereas lagfree.Terror is already getting it. Now, it seems like None wants to kind of contain. I mean, at this point, I don't know if it's even possible, because how do you contain this entire area? I just don't see it happening. It would be too easy to break through one point. Usually, a contain on the natural is like awesome, because there's small area that you have to go through, but containing on this position, I would assume, is only to make sure that your opponent cannot freely walk through and basically attack you, so that you have a lot of warning time. I would assume. I'm not sure that's the case, but we see already some drop defense coming down from None, which I don't know if there's actually any dropships. Okay, there are some dropships. One. How many more do we have? There's just one so far. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to get this kind of defense, although you need actually quite a lot of turrets to make sure that your opponent is forced to drop here. 2 turrets are not going to cut it, because your opponent, if he flies with 5 dropships like through here, he's not going to drop here. He's going to drop down there. Also, Terran units, when they get dropped, they instantly shoot, and since they have hit scan weapons, these mines, some of them might connect, but I would assume some of them will also get killed. Interestingly enough, Terror is still taking a lot of supply lead. Like, they've been equal for some time, But Terror is always getting a little bit earlier his expansions. He's also getting constantly the better kind of, I would assume not even the trade, because he's actually been losing some units, but yeah, his production really seems to be good. I mean, there's actually a APM disparity that might account for it. So it's a possibility that Non has some trouble with his macro. And I think, yeah, actually there's one more factory for there's one more factory for Non than there is for lagfree.Terror, but lagfree.Terror is still getting the upper hand. SCV wise, oh, maybe it's because it's in SCVs. It might be in SCVs because, yeah, lagfree.Terror is producing a lot of them. 56 at this moment against 47, so not bad. Okay, so a dropship is coming through with 4 Goliaths. I would assume that's to try to kill some SCVs. Here it's not gonna do anything. It's 3 tanks. Here, if it gets to here, it might. Oh, look, I think these guys heard me from the past or something, because I said I would really like to see dropship versus dropship play, and here we go, dropship versus dropships. Good, good. I really like that. Okay, that vulture definitely spotted the dropships, and there is some defense here already. So let's see how that goes. If it does go, because it might not go at all. No. Okay. I mean, definitely it's not a good idea to drop here. Okay, I understand that. it doesn't make much sense, but I still would have kind of been interested to see how it would go. And I'm going to go this way, guys. It's going to be much easier to see the positioning on the map of everything. At this point, it's going to be difficult to keep track of everything that's going on. So I'm going to be more interested to be looking at the game this way. Okay, so we do see that Terror is still trying to kind of get dropped here. It's just, I mean, he scanned this. He knows that he cannot really drop this effectively. Ooh, yes! BC's coming down from 1 starport. BC's from 1 starport. Usually that doesn't do well. Usually 1 starport BC is not. It's not really useful, actually. Okay, so Non is trying to get kind of a line of defense, and at the same time expand across it, but it's already been breached. Like, it's already been not allowed. So let's see how that works, because so okay, it's a very long time since we had any kind of action. So kind of killing 1 turret. That's the action we had in last 5 minutes, pretty much. And we have +1, +1, +1. You usually want to have +2 here. Oh, just as I said it. Just as I said it. Okay, so anyway, lagfree.Terror, definitely I like the look of his base. Really, really good looking. But apart from that, I think Non is getting almost always the better position. Every time, yeah, on the minimap it actually looks awesome. Every time I look at any engagement, it seems that Non is actually getting a little bit of a better trade, because look at the supplies. lagfree.Terror has been gaining supplies steadily as long as there's been no action, and as soon as there's any action, he's actually dropping down. But then again, look at his bank, guys. Look, Non is at the same amount, but he has no bank at all. Wow, I mean, that's 62 SCVs against 54. I would assume that's part of it, but the bank is actually pretty big. Okay, so still BC is producing, I would assume. Where is the BC? There are 2 battle cruisers already, but I can't find them. I can't find the battle cruisers. God damn it, where are they? Ah! Okay, never mind. We'll find them later. So this drop is most likely trying to get this base, and there are some dropships here ready to kind of intercept that. So definitely none knows what lagfree.Terror plans to do. And so far it seems like lagfree.Terror has not been able to do much about it. Okay, small, well actually a pretty big push to this third coming up. At the same time we do see the drop from lagfree.Terror changing his course. Now, ooh, good shots. Pretty good shots, pretty good shots. This is actually probably gonna stop this this push. And at the same time the dropships might be looking for a target. Okay, it seems like they're going to be going from the bottom. Ooh, mine actually does get a good hit. And these tanks are actually... yeah, they're actually still in range, so... yeah, this small army is just completely gonna get shredded. So both players managed to defend pretty well. Both players managed to defend their own bases. But during all of this... we do have also BCs coming down from none, so both players are going to the BC. I mean, in the BC wars there are three things. One, Yamato cannons, if you do get them, that's one. Two, the upgrades. Three, the amount of battle cruisers. And when in low numbers, it's actually quite difficult to tell. But when in big numbers, it's mostly about the Yamato cannons. So we will see if that actually comes into play, because both players still have a lot of ground units, they still have a lot of tanks, they still have some Goliaths. So definitely not going to be like full battle cruiser on battle cruiser arm fight, at least not yet. We might get to that eventually, because we can see that both players are actually not growing up at all in supply, well not at all, a little bit in supply, but mostly building BCs instead of building more tanks and Goliaths. So we'll see. I do think, however, that lagfree.Terror should be okay. He's making more starports now, but he should really start okay, and another armory, so pretty smart. He's actually starting to take a little bit of a control on the map, especially from this side, trying to make sure that these bases aren't taken for free. Oh, and the BCs are going to be starting to kill some of the tanks here. Ooh, that's going to kill some tanks, alright. And wow, look at the supply difference now. I mean, not only the supply difference, the bank. Holy hell. Like, lagfree.Terror has a lot more supply. Oh, and there are the BCs from his opponents, so you gotta be careful now. Oh, 3 versus 3, but these 3 are really already damaged from a lot of damage that they took earlier. So, whoa, but actually None is the one running away. He had actually more life on his BCs, but you need to repair them though now. I mean, if you're Terror, you really want to repair them, because you have a lot of money. You can definitely start repairing battle cruisers, but rebuilding them takes a lot of time. So this 31, I would just grab like this and spam it on that BC until it's back on full health. Now at the same time, we do see that None is trying to take the completely far down side of the map. So Terror has already taken his side of the map, but considering how much money he has, he can sort of expect to have it later up. Oh, there we have some repairs. Good. So repair is gonna come up. And we do have some Goliaths. I don't know if that was a drop, but they're going to be killing this base. And at the same time pushing to the natural. Wow. This might actually be quite problematic for None. He's out of position. He's actually taking a lot of shots on his battle cruiser. Ooh, that's a lot of... oh my god, that's a lot of damage. None is starting to be in some trouble. He's losing bases. He is starting to be split away. It's a difficult kind of show in the minimap, but his line should be like this and this. But there's already a small contingency of units that can actually keep the third away from the natural and the natural away from the fourth. So there's a lot of options for lagfree.Terror, whereas None doesn't have any. If he tries to move somewhere, the army of his opponent is so close that it can start to defend really fast. Now these BCs are going to take down these tanks because lagfree.Terror isn't really like reacting to it. Is he gonna Yamato? Is it gonna be? No. Oh, no. Oh my god. Ooh, oh, ouch. Okay, so the first one to get Yamato is actually Non. But, for example, right now, you just attack with the BCs this, right? And you put Goliaths in here, and the BCs can't do anything. You can kill this with only the BCs and keep your ground army here as lagfree.Terror. So you actually have a way to completely split the area and not allow your opponent to save his base. Now, I understand it's still not the easiest thing to do, but it's a possibility nonetheless. Whereas, what would Non do to try to get out of this position? Okay, we're gonna be seeing a drop. Nah, it's not gonna work. Yeah. Oh, it's actually empty. Okay. So if you're not gonna be killing anything with this, you might as well just draw, kind of lose them on the turrets. I mean, in a way, I don't know. lagfree.Terror has definitely the upper hand, and it would have been smart by him trying to kill this base and try to force his opponent on 3 bases. Oh. Unfortunately for Non, he's actually killing empty dropships. But I say unfortunately because usually you don't want to waste the Yamato cannons in case your opponent has also Yamato cannons, so that when the fight actually happens, you have that. But it seems like Terror doesn't have Yamato so far because he's at full energy and he's not using it. Ooh. Okay, no, I thought that had Yamato cannons. Where's lagfree.Terror's army really? It seems like his army is like small. He's losing a lot of like units, but yes, some Goliaths, some tanks here, some tanks here. Yeah, just let's see. 20 siege tanks, 9 Goliaths, 7 BCs. Yeah, I just don't see the BCs. Maybe that's why. Ooh, oh, yeah, but that should die. No, it's not gonna die. Okay. Oh, now we see the Yamatos. And the Yamato War. $187 versus 187. Good. Good. Now we know we're in an even game. You definitely can add more starports if you're lagfree.Terror. Okay, so far BCs are going to be cleaning some tanks. They're going to be kind of trying to get something done with this. Now, so far, bear in mind, guys, that although this might seem a little bit boring, I think lagfree.Terror knows that he has like a lot more money to work with, so we just want to contain sas.non until the game ends. Like, if lagfree.Terror keeps trading his army against the army of Non, eventually he's just gonna win because he's got much more money. So yeah, show me the money. We've got 9 battle cruisers versus 10. So as long as you get the Yamatos right, none is gonna lose this. Especially if you can. Oh. Okay. That was some good shots. And we do have some Reapers coming down and some emergency turrets. Oh my god, there was actually an EMP also, so Non is starting to bring the real deal. That being said though, even if you lose these BCs, where are the Goliaths? You could make some Goliaths, man. No, it's just tanks. Meh, not the best idea. Oh, this is going not too well for Terror, considering how much money he's got. And considering how much economy he took. This is really not going nice for him. He had 10 BCs, but he couldn't just Yamato, so because of that, lost just... just... That didn't go well. That's not going too well for Terror. I mean, yeah, kind of just as I said before, every time there is an engagement, none gets ahead. Every time nothing happens, lagfree.Terror gets ahead. So, yeah. Basically, none has to keep fighting. Ooh, that actually will kill the BCs. A combination of BCs and Wraiths and tanks and Goliaths. Alright, so again, at equal supplies. It's kind of weird. Both players are producing kind of not really that well. I mean, Wraiths, I would assume that we're going to be seeing Valkyries now. Maybe? No, BCs. Okay, so none is going to be in trouble because BCs actually don't do too well against Wraiths. And Wraiths actually do really well against BCs, so... And also, Wraiths build a lot faster, so you can, not to mention that they're more mobile, which means you can get everywhere you want to be really fast. So I would assume that as long as Terror finds out about this base... Yeah, okay, he just did. And just grabs this army and denies it, he's probably gonna win the game. And we should be... And he should win the game in the next... let's say 6 minutes? Most likely? Ooh. Yep. That was fast. Okay, there. See, 3 BCs against 12 Wraiths. Nope. Is he Yamato on a Wraith? No, I think now I've seen it all. That's still quite a lot of money for Terror. He did lose some SCVs, but at this point I actually think that's actually good for him. No, he was... Wow, he still has a lot of them. Ooh, nice shot. Yeah, just none... I don't know where he's gonna try to expand. Pretty much every single spot is completely covered. There's no way that you can actually go there. Yeah, well, Yamato can destroy an entire planet because the planet is big, so the target is big, so it's easy to hit. But his lot is very small, so you can actually miss it. I would assume that's the way. I have no idea. You'd go BCs against the Protoss for the swag. I mean, that's kind of the only reason. Okay, so sas.non seems to be trying to take a position where he can actually shoot something and at the same time take a base. The problem is he's fighting against Wraiths, and Wraiths are extremely mobile, so you can't be doing this because you can hold this position, but if you try to take a base, then the Wraiths are going to be picking you apart. And remember, lagfree.Terror can be doing this for days. He can trade Wraiths for a turret. He can trade Wraiths for a tank. It's none who cannot afford that. It's none who can't lose anything if he wants to try to get it and take a win here. Now, I've been thinking, guys, that since this game is so short, we should probably do the entire best of 3 of this turn versus turn. That would be cool, don't you think? Just watching all these beautiful BCs running around, trying to get a Yamato cannon every 30 seconds or minutes or whatever. Sounds like a plan. Probably not gonna do that though. Okay, so again, same situation. Non really is trying to push somewhere so he can take a base, but so far he just look where he's actually putting the command center. He actually wants to put the command center somewhere where he knows it's safe. But again, the wraiths can just fly in, snipe, snipe, get out. Even if you lose like 4 or 5 of them, it's still okay. I guess in a way it's kind of funny because as I said, every time that lagfree.Terror fights, he actually loses a lot of units. So I think lagfree.Terror is like, I'm not even gonna attack you. You have to attack me. Ooh. One shot. Not gonna kill it though, but and a tank. La 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 la. If I'm starting to act a little bit crazy, don't be surprised. I mean, just okay. That was not the best move. Okay, now that should kill. What the hell was that? What the hell is that? Just used every single Yamato cannon to kill 1 BC. Seriously? Man, what the hell are you doing? I mean, come on. That was overkill. I know that he has like the Bank of Switzerland in here, but you'd still want to not use all your Yamato cannons on 1 BC. Okay, so the base is taken again, and that means we can go for another 20 minutes. Yay! Oh, maybe not. Actually not. Actually, no way. That's gonna be it. Oh no. Is really not gonna win this? Really? Don't tell me that actually Terror is gonna lose this with like 6,000 in the bank. You know, he's actually gonna lose this. Yeah, after he loses all the BCs, he's gonna start rebuilding what? BCs now? By the time you have the BCs done, you don't have any bases. Actually, you know what? You do want to kill this tank because it's gonna kill like half of your army. Okay, so None is now gonna lose this base, and Dandy's gonna lose his bases, but None can now take this base. So we can still be here for a few more minutes, guys. I mean, to be fair, Terror is up in supply again because he had a lot of bank. But if he keeps trading like he's been trading for the last 30 minutes, that might not still be enough. I mean, you still need to use your money efficiently, not only have it. Bear in mind that sas.non, strangely enough, I have no idea how the hell sas.non managed to win that fight so easily. It must have been something with those Yamato cannons going completely bonkers, because okay, it seems like we might even have some sort of a base trade at this point, because I would assume that this is gonna die and this army can actually kill this. Maybe not. Seems like Terror is already getting ready for a possible counterattack on his main. And yes, there is the command center trying to take this base. Good enough. Good enough. Yeah, bring popcorn. Yeah, send me some. Because, I mean, this is gonna be quite a while until these guys actually eliminate each other. And you know the main reason why this TVT is actually taking so long, because we can actually see that Terror probably is gonna take this. The reason why this is taking so long is because none doesn't actually know how much money Terror has. So he's kind of hoping that, you know, that he doesn't have too much of it, and that he can crawl his way back into this game. But I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's still gonna be difficult to break this. It's not like you're going to just send your army, kill everything. So, okay, this probably still won't be, like, probably sas.non will still leave this probably relatively soon, because as soon as he realizes that there's actually still a big army and a possibility of mining for his opponent, while he would have to actually rebuild everything, you know, depots, factories, and everything else. If none realizes this, he's probably just gonna say, you know, okay, I know I cannot hope in time to rebuild this. Yeah, nuke, or just, you could actually even fly in with wraiths, kill this, and then kill everything else. You could EMP this and kill with wraiths everything else. So there's definitely ways that you can win the game as Terror without having to actually face the army, but it's kind of really strange to think that. Okay, yes, yeah, so, oh my god, is none really gonna try this? Ooh, I mean, none is kind of crazy if he... This is a best of 3, guys. You can imagine playing this and like saying, okay, GG, let's play the next one. Ugh. I mean, I personally, I'm tired of casting this. My APM while casting this is probably around 10, and I'm tired. So these guys are probably quite tired after this. And there's a lot of energy, so Yamatos might actually come in handy here. Yes, Yamato's here as well. Okay. Oh, actually one wasted there. Oh, yeah, another wasted because this... Oh, BCs. BCs are actually in trouble here. They're probably gonna die, all of them, but... Yeah, again, every time there is an engagement, just Terror loses everything. Ooh. A nice fleet of wraiths is gonna kill everything here. And that's gonna be it. That's gotta be GG. That's gotta be it, guys. Yeah, none can't build anything. Like, he doesn't have the money. And he's not gonna have it anymore. And does he even have a comsat? He doesn't have a comsat. So... Yeah, he's building an... Is Nan really trying to do this? I mean, look at this. What are you expecting to do with this? Terror doesn't have any money, but he does have some command centers. He has SCVs. He has his infrastructure ready. So every time that he starts to gather money, he can actually spend that money on units. His opponent would have to rebuild the entire infrastructure from scratch. Actually, not even from scratch, because from scratch is 1 command center and 4 SCVs. Right now, I don't think he even has a command center. Nope. And no command center out of 0. Actually, how many buildings does he even have? Alright, guys, now it is definitely the time to start buy 2. At this point, there's definitely the time to say it's starting to be boring to look at this. Alright, final attack. This has to be a final attack, right? Yeah, it is a final attack. None is just like saying, I'm staying here till I die. Alright, that was a... Okay, we're gonna take a break now. We need a break. I mean, well, maybe not you, but I do need a break. So let me find some kind of a music or whatever for a few seconds.